the moonlight that shined on me that night, howling, resounding across the darkness. The reason my heart is crying out is because I want to see you now. The light that shines in us, the shooting star that holds our wishes. I've been looking for you. This road is ours to make. Do you feel the same? Your voice is just up ahead. The road not taken. Hello, and welcome back. andteam just released their first comeback EP, First Telling We, along with their music video for Firework. And with the music video came many questions. While I can't say I have all the answers, I can say I have theories. Firework is a story about 9 werewolves and their relationship with a mysterious girl. We see a story of first meetings, love, and heartbreak. But what if I tell you that there's more to the story than what we see, and that Firework is actually one part of a much bigger story? In this part of the video, I will be breaking down and analyzing the music video along with discussing my main theory about the overarching story. I will be sharing other theories and possibilities towards the end of the video. The unreachable distant sky. We'll reach it because we're together. We'll reach our hands out again. The light that shines on us, the shooting star that holds our wishes. I've been looking for you. Light me up, this night's magic. While on the surface, one would assume this to be a story about a group of boys fighting over one girl, who we believe to be Suha. Beneath the surface hides the desperate desires of 9 werewolves, who have been, and who still are, on a long and painful journey. So, what is this desire? And what exactly is this journey? One of the largest mysteries that came from this music video is the identity of the girl who appears throughout it. Prior to its release, the theory was that her identity belonged to Mika, a close friend to the boys in their webtoon The Grey City. However, with the release of Firework, most people now believe her to be Suha, the main character in the Blood Altar story, and the girl who supposedly appears at the end of the Under the Skin extended music video. But one thing that isn't a mystery is her importance to the boys. We see throughout the music video just how much they value her, and while they're not all in love with her, they do have a very strong attachment to her. She is someone they laugh over, someone they fawn over, and someone they cry over. Someone who makes them feel free to be who they are. And it is because of the strength of this relationship that they're willing to do anything to be with her again. And this is where their journey begins. The music video starts with the boys and Suha sleeping in a room, and Joe is the first one to open his eyes. We then get flashes of scenes we see throughout the music video, along with scenes of the boys running while wearing werewolf masks in their PJs. Much like Under the Skin, we can separate their music video between 2 themes, Bloom and Thirsty, both of the concepts we've seen prior to the music video's release. Bloom can be seen as a version of their past, the timeline that started their journey. In Bloom, we see the yellow flower field, a memory where they experience joy. We see their dorm, where they party together celebrating life, the beach, a place where they shared each other's warmth, and then we have the scenes in Red, where they experience betrayal and hurt. These memories are at the core of their desire, and part of why they keep moving forward. Which then brings us to Thirst. thirst represents a version of their reality, the moments they seem to express their desperate desire. We see thirst in the empty dorm where they reflect on memories that once were, in the dream they share of running with her again, and in nowhere, a place where they express their desperate wish, and the lengths they're willing to go to get there. And then we have the end of the video, which takes place in Bloom, showcasing to us that this was all just a dream. Just kidding. Or am I? With the themes that we see, we can understand what it is they desire, why their hearts seem to be crying out, to meet the person they were searching for all along, Lune, or Suha. And while the music video seems to suggest that their wish came true, that isn't necessarily the case. After all, Bloom illustrates the past and the events that occurred within it, and Thirsty illustrates only their desire. So, though we see Suha, she isn't actually present. It's why I believe we see her chasing them in their dreams, and why they desperately dance for someone who's just too far out of reach. Now, before we try to break down these themes and the story hidden within it, there's one more piece to the puzzle we need: time. In my previous video, Connections, we talked about the elements of time and time travel and how it presents itself in the Hybe universe. One of the elements mentioned is water. As I stated before, I believe water to be the space between one timeline and another. In Under the Skin, the first one who we see floating underwater is Joe, and while everyone eventually does the same, Joe is also one of the last we see before the music video ends. And while Water's appearance in the music video is brief, it's no coincidence that Joe is the one who continues to be connected to it. In his scene, he lays in the still water, looking up at the sky, while the lyrics "Still We Reach Our Hands" plays in the background. A tear then rises from his eyes and creates a firework. We also see him swimming in this water in the choreo version of their MV. I believe all of this to mean that they're willing to travel through time to make their wish come true. And if you consider that this music video also mirrors ENHYPEN's Drunk Dazed, we can see that even more. As I mentioned in my videos, The Carnival and Connections, Drunk Dazed takes place in ENHYPEN's version of the Magic Island, a place outside of time where they go to make their wish come true. And as we see in the music video, The Carnival is also a place of dreams. And Firework is much the same. The music video again begins with everyone asleep after what we assume is a birthday party, almost like what we see in Drunk Dazed. And Joe is the only one who opens his eyes, showcasing his awareness to the swale of time. While ENHYPEN drinks and dances in blood, their connection to time, andteam dances in water, surrounded by fireworks. Both songs then sing about reaching for their desires. They then mirror each other one last time at the end of the MV, where the boys are once again fast asleep, hinting to us exactly where this music video takes place. andteam's version of the Magic Island, which we will talk about more after the next part of the video. I also believe that by mirroring ENHYPEN's Drunk Dazed, we see that the events within Bloom might also be taking place in andteam's version of that timeline. So, now that we have all of these pieces, it's time to share what I believe is the journey of andteam. When dealing with time, there's no telling where a journey really begins. It could be from the earliest date that's been introduced, but it could also be in the future. As with time travel, the future could also be the past. But for the sake of clarity, we'll tell the story at our beginning, with Under the Skin. In my previous video analysis of Under the Skin, and in my video Who is Haruha, we were able to take away multiple possibilities of what's happening in their story. One of the ones I mentioned was how the members could possibly be traveling through time to find someone who was lost. In the song, The lyrics read, "Where are you? I'm simply searching. One more time, one more time. Where are you? I want to step out with you. One more time in this world." No one's noticing it, this somewhat weird world. Still, I softly yelled, "I'm right here," howling from afar, the quiet "save me." The more it repeats, getting so faster. From the beginning, the boys sing about hearing a voice and their desire to reach out to them, to step out with them one more time. And as I mentioned before, they seemingly travel through time together to find the one who needs saving. Soon afterwards, we get the song "Scent of You," where the entirety of the lyrics sing about chasing the one they desperately want to meet. "Nice to meet you. To you I haven't seen yet. I will recognize when our eyes meet. I'm sure I'll meet you, like a deja vu. The journey begins with this encounter. We'll change the future we pictured together. I want to show you it's all for you. I'm chasing the scent of you, guided by you, destined to connect." And somewhere along their journey, they finally do. We soon see a world, almost like, but not quite like one we've seen before. In both worlds, 3 boys go on a bus and leave behind an invitation. In one world, the girl finds it and is soon followed by 2 werewolves, Weiju and Kay, who somehow makes it to the party before even she arrives. But in our world, we see that she's being followed by what we assume are vampires, and the 9 werewolves, noticing that she may be in danger, split up and chase after her in an attempt to save her. What soon follows is a new story that we have yet to see. In this world, the boys make a connection with Suha and save her from these vampires. Though she is known to have a strong connection to them and is even a reincarnation of one, in this world, she may be more human than before. We soon see her spend more time with the werewolves and makes an even stronger connection with them, even becoming part of their pack. We then see events seemingly line up with a timeline for Drunk Dazed, as they all throw some sort of party together, almost like the one we've seen before. And somewhere along the way, fate pulls them to the beach, where, much like in the other universe, Kay and Suha find themselves together during the night of a lunar eclipse, where Kay falls in love with her again. With these new feelings, Kay invites her on a date at a spot they once shared before. But, unbeknownst to him, this world had other plans. With Suha being more human, she becomes vulnerable, and I believe falls into the hands of the vampires, whose main goal in this world is to hunt down and steal the blood of werewolves. Under their control, she betrays the werewolves and breaks the hearts of those she loved dearly. And despite all of their efforts to save her, eventually lose her. After this loss, we see their wish, their desperate desire to change destiny and save the one they loved. We're going round, round. Are we lost or found? Attracted to your scent, searching deep within the woods. The fog runs deep, stuck in the dark night. No time to be afraid. To change destiny, I choose one of 2 options. Road not taken. And so, in their desperate wish, the boys find themselves lost in the woods, lost in nowhere, chasing after the quiet voice that seems to be repeating, "Save me, save me, save me." Whether their story begins in Under the Skin, or whether it really begins in Firework, this is their journey, moving through time to save their light. hope I didn't give you more questions than answers, but for anyone who is still confused, feel free to check out the next chapters of this video, where I'll be going over some of the elements from the MV and the main setting. If you don't care much about the breakdown, feel free to skip to the end where I'll be briefly mentioning some other theories about the story. Magic Island, the carnival, the magic shop, whatever name you know it by, the rules of it are the same. It's a place of dreams, a place lost in time, where you go when you have a desperate wish. And for andteam, it is no different. In my previous video analysis of Under the Skin, and in my video The Carnival, I mentioned that andteam goes to the Magic Island, as we see hints of it in the MV. Within the music video, we see an amusement park that could also be said to resemble a carnival, along with a carousel-like image within their choreography. As these scenes occur, we're simultaneously shown scenes of the boys falling into a body of water. And the scene that happens afterwards is what we assume their first encounter with Suha. This, of course, was our first introduction to their carnival. However, we have yet to see what their carnival is actually like. After all, the Magic Island appears differently to every group. However, with their music video for Firework, we learned that we're much closer to their island than we think. Despite the appearance of the music video, there are hints that it's all happening in one place, nowhere, a place introduced in the concept photos for Thirsty. We see this especially connect when you look at some of the elements within the concept, like the bikes they ride mirroring the bike that Suha rides in the music video, the open field that mirrors the open land in the concept trailers, and of course, their strong desires that reflect in both. And as nowhere is a place of dreams, we can also see it reflected in their desperate expressions, and in the scenes we see of them sleeping. We also have the role of time, where while we don't get a clear visual on time's involvement in this music video, there are some connections. Like the water scene mentioned previously, the grainy quality of the video, making it impossible for me to zoom in on the books like I did last time, and the scene at the end, where we have all 10 of our characters lying comfortably in blankets in one scene, and the next where all those blankets are gone, possibly hinting at there being two different timelines. If you connect it once again to their concept photos and videos for Bloom and Thirsty, there are some scenes in Bloom that also hint at there being more timelines. And in their limited A photo book, there is one photo in this nowhere where we see a compass that doesn't seem to be pointing where it should, hinting at them being lost in time, or even just lost. And one of the main connections of this nowhere to the Magic Island is Fireworks. I honestly didn't realize this connection before, but when you look back on their first MV, where we're introduced to this island, fireworks appear. In their carnival, fireworks go off in the background as they dance along to the lyrics that express their desire to search for you. And in their song, Firework, this desire carries, with their lyrics literally describing the fireworks as a shooting star full of wishes. They then also describe the night of fireworks as this night's magic, which to some might sound familiar. Our final connection we can make is the song Road Not Taken. In the song, they sing about being lost, going round and round, not knowing which direction to take. They also sing about being in a forest, one of the possible settings I said we might see before. Which goes to say that this forest could be where they truly are, their Magic Island, their journey. This is where they go to have their wish granted, how they make their way through time, going round and round, changing destiny, until they find the road not taken. Needless to say, a dark forest in the middle of nowhere, lost in time, with fireworks going off in it. If you've watched TXT's MVs, then you've seen this before, in their music video, Magic Island. Anyways, that's all I wanted to mention for that theory for now, but I may do a video on Nowhere sometime in the future. This is of course all just a theory, but I had a lot of fun putting it all together. Also, here are some of the elements within the video that I used for my theory on their story. I hope I didn't confuse anyone before, but I didn't want to over-explain and ruin the flow of the video. Part of my reasoning for believing that Suha is basically brainwashed is because vampires had the ability to do so in the Gray City story. And because in the concept trailer for Bloom, we see Hadawa in red lighting playing or maybe even controlling the toy dinosaurs, which we see reflected again in the music video. Another possible hint to them reaching to Suha through time is one of the books on the shelf in the Bloom trailer. It's actually hard to tell if it's actually the correct book, but if it is, the book itself is about two people somehow communicating and reaching out to each other through time. Also, in Thirsty, they never actually seem to touch Suha. They seem distant from her, almost like she's not actually present. Yet they desperately dance for her because reaching her is their goal. After this is done, I will be adding more videos to showcase the scenes that make up Bloom and the scenes that make up Thirsty in Fireworks MV. I could probably also make one where we connect the Bloom and Thirsty concept trailers to the scenes in the video as well. And that's all for my theories. Some additional theories I want to touch on are some popular theories I've heard within the community. One, for example, is that the girl could be both Suha and Mika. The happy memories that we see are the memories of Mika, and the not-so-happy memories are the events happening with Suha, the past and the present. Some even believe Suha to be a villain in this story. Another cool theory that I personally really like is that she's actually a werewolf hunter. This is a theory I've heard after hearing some content creators react to the music video. Neither of them know the webtoon story, but they all came to the same conclusion, that the girl is a werewolf hunter who befriends the werewolves, not knowing about their true identity. Though they love her and their relationship with her, they mourn having to hide who they truly are, and their inability to be their true selves. She eventually hunts them down in their werewolf forms, not knowing that she's attacking her friends. And at the end, underneath the moonlight, she finally discovers their identity. I honestly think it's really cool that one can get so much just from this music video. I think andteam also did such a great job in their expressions and acting, as it definitely enhances our perception of the story. Oh, and I heard some people connect some of the scenes to scenes that are in Studio Ghibli movies. I feel like you can also make a similar connection with a scene at the end with Kei and Suha, as it kind of reminds me of a scene in the movie Your Name. As always, there's definitely so much you can get from this song and music video, and so many things you can connect them to. What are some cool theories you made from the music video? Any connections you noticed that you'd love to share? Or maybe you have questions about some of the things I pointed out as well. Whatever it is, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Also, thanks to Firework, I now have an idea for a new video in the future called Fate. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching, and see you again next time.